So, good morning, Year 10. So this is to support the work you've done on the 20 questions from half term 3. We're looking at week 4. So I'll go through, we've done 3 weeks, I'll go through these ones quite quickly now. So I want to look at the first one. We're solving an equation. Okay, everything on this side is divided by 6. So I want to get rid of that divide by 6. I'm going to multiply both sides by 6, okay, which leaves that as 8x minus 26, but on this side we've got 6 lots of x minus 3. We multiply that bracket out, we get to this situation here. So then we're looking for the smallest number of x's, which is 6x. So I want to cancel that, I want to take those away, but I have to take it from both sides. Okay, so if I take 6x from this side, I'm left with 2x minus 26. If I take 6x here, it disappears and I'm left with a minus 18. Okay, then I want to leave the 2x on its own, so I'm going to add 26 to cancel that out, but I need to do it to both sides. So that leaves me with 2x on this side and minus 18, add 26 is 8. Okay, now I just need to finish off. To find if 2x is 8, I divide both sides by 2, I get x is 4. This one's slightly different because not everything on this side is divided by 5, only this bit. So I'm going to multiply by 5, but I'm going to do it slightly differently. I'm going to multiply, okay, both sides by 5. So this is what it looks like when I multiply both sides by 5. Okay, 5 times everything here, 5 times everything here. So if I multiply this bracket out, 5 lots of x over 5 is just x, and 5 lots of 1 are 5. And then on the other side, you've got 5x minus 35. Okay, then we're looking for the smallest number of x's, which is x. So I'm going to subtract x from both sides, which leaves me with 5 on this side and 4x minus 35 here. Okay. I want to leave the 4x on its own, so I'm going to add the 35 to both sides, which gives me the 40 equals 4x, and then to find 1x I need to divide by 4, which gives me 10 equals x. Okay, here we're simplifying, so you just need to multiply those brackets out and then collect your like terms together, so you should end up with 15a minus 12b. Here, same idea here, you just need to watch that this is a negative 2 here, so this bracket, this bracket here needs to be multiplied by negative 2, okay, which will make that second term plus 6b, okay, because minus 2 times minus 3 is plus 6, okay. What we end up here is that we've got 6a minus 6a, which gives you nothing, so you're just left with 14b. Okay, question 4. So we've got fractions, mixed numbers, we're dividing, so I need to turn them both to top-heavy fractions. So you should have 3 over 2 and 13 over 5. Okay, and then we're going to keep the first fraction, we're going to flip the second fraction, and we're going to multiply. So you end up with 3 over 2 times 5 over 13, and you just multiply the top, multiply the bottom, and you get 15 over 26 is your final answer. Here it's a subtraction, so we're interested in getting the denominators the same, so I need a sixth. So a half, I would multiply the bottom by 3 to get 6, so I multiply the top by 3, which gives me 3/6, and here I multiply the bottom by 2, so I multiply the top by 2, which gives me 2/6, and then we're literally doing the subtraction. 2 take away 2 is 0, so I've got no holes. 3/6 take away 2/6 is 1/6. Okay. Here we're multiplying decimals, so I'm actually going to start with multiplying 162 times 75, which I've done here. So 5 lots of 162 gives you the 810, and 70 lots of 162 gives you 11,340. Okay, if we add those together, we get 12,150. Just get rid of that decimal point there for a minute. Okay, so the answer is 12,150, but I didn't want to multiply 162 and 75. I was multiplying 16.2. So what did I do here? I multiplied by 10. Okay, so I need to divide the final answer by 10, and with this one I multiplied by 10, so I need to divide the final answer by 10 again. So I'm dividing by 10 twice, which gives you 121.50, or just 0.5 is fine. So now we're dividing decimals, which we always write out as a fraction. 90 divided by 0.9, which if I multiply top and bottom by 10 gives me 900 divided by 9, and the answer is 100. Okay, so next page. Question 9. Okay, so it's bid maths. Now in here I've got a multiply, I've got brackets, and I've got indices. Okay, so brackets we always do first, but within the brackets I've got an add and indices, so the indices happens to happen first. So 5 squared is 25, so I've got 7 times 8 plus 25. Now I can do the brackets, that gives me 33, and now I can do 7 times 33, which is 231, which you may need to write out here. Similar here, I need to do the brackets first, but I need to deal with the indices, so 3 squared is 9, so then I can do 2 plus 9, which is 11, and then I can do 6 times 11, which is 66. Okay, here we have some conversions, so we need to know that 1 centimetre squared is the same as 100 millimetres squared. Okay, and we want to know what 800 millimetres squared is a centimetre squared. So if I look here, I can see that I multiplied 100 by 8 to get 800. So I need to multiply 1 by 8, which gives me 8 centimetres squared. Okay, so the answer to that one is 8 centimetres squared. Here, so question 12, we've got 1 metre squared is 10,000 centimetres squared. We're after 2.05 metres squared, so I multiplied by 2.05 to get from 1 to 2.05. Okay, so I've got to multiply 10,000 by 2.05. Okay, and when I multiply by 10,000, that means the digits move 4 places to the left. So I've got 20500. So it's 20,500 centimetres squared. Okay, question 13. So we had 2 to the 4 times 3 cubed. Okay, you could work this out as 16 times 27 and then do long multiplication, that's absolutely fine. Or you could multiply by 2 over and over again to get to 432. Okay, so I've just taken the 27 and multiplied by 2 4 times to get 432. Similarly here, 5 cubed is 125 and 2 to the 6 is 64, so you could do 64 times 125, or you could just keep multiplying by 2. So I've multiplied by 2 3 times. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, that got me to 1,000, and now 1,000 is a really easy number to multiply by, so I said 2 times 2 times 2 is 8, and then 8 times 1,000 is 8,000. Question 15, the 11th square number, 11 times 11 is 121, and 1155 as a product of prime factors, so you do your factor tree for this one, you should get 3 times 5 times 7 times 11, and it has to be written out as a multiplication. Question 17, we're making x the subject of the formula, okay? So we start, and I want to leave the x on its own, or the x squared on its own, so I need to get rid of the a, so I'm going to divide both sides by a, which leaves me with y over a equals x squared. To find x, I need to undo the squaring, so I have to square root both sides. So if I square root this side, I get the square root of y over a, and then the square root of x squared is just x. Just note that when you square root, there are 2 answers, positive and negative, and that must be there. This one, okay, looks similar. The difference is here only the x is squared, here the a and the x is squared, so it's going to give you a different answer. So for here we've got a square root first, So I square root just the y and put the plus and the minus in the front, and that gives me the a. Then I want to get rid of the a, so I divide both sides by a. So we end up with the square root of y over a, and the square root is plus or minus. Okay, so this one, it's the y over the a that's square rooted. Here it's just the y that's square rooted. Okay, so question 19, calculate the area of the circle with radius 12 centimetres, leaving your answer in terms of pi. So I'm going to write down first that the radius is 12, then I'm going to write the formula, area is pi r squared. Now I'm just going to substitute 12 for the r, so we get that the area is pi times 12 squared. 12 squared is 144, so we get pi times 144, which we would normally write as 144 pi. The next one we need to read very carefully. Calculate the area of a semicircle, so it's only half of a circle, with diameter 18. So we're given the diameter, but for area we need to know the radius. So the first thing I'm going to do is write down the radius, and the radius is 9. Okay, then the formula, well, area is pi r squared, semicircle would be half pi r squared because it's half a circle. So again, I'm just going to substitute the 9 in. So we get half pi 9 squared, which is a half pi times 81. And if I half the 81, I get 40.5 pi. So mark those, correct those in your work, and send me your solutions at some point this week, please.